Good day and welcome to yet another episode of Woman to Woman with me, Patricia Nkwani, a show where we discuss real issues that are of concern to women. We empower, inspire, and enlighten one another. Today on Woman to Woman, we are talking owning your happiness. Join me as we'll be discussing what happiness really is. The question that goes in each one of us mind is, what do I need to do to be happy? What can I do to own my happiness? Which route should I take in order for me to stay happy? And to discuss that today, I'm joined by a beautiful, amazing woman, Bonolo Phalaagage. She's a coach, a radio personnel. She's a woman that inspires thousands of people weekly on her family show. Help me welcome Bonolo Phalaagage to Woman to Woman. Hello, Bonolo, how are you?
I'm good, Pat. How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me.
Lately, ever since the last time I saw you, lately you are just one busy woman.
Yeah, when you are doing what you love, you just don't stop.
You get busy and you don't notice it.
You don't stop. Yeah.
But I'm just going to shoot straight and ask you this question. What do I do to own my happiness?
Yeah. Happiness is priceless, I would say. You can't put a price tag to it, Pat. I've just been posting on Facebook just now, a picture of myself, and I captioned the picture. When we are happy, we decorate this world, and that's because when I'm happy, inside, like true happiness, I radiate. When I'm happy, my energy levels are so high. When I'm happy, I'm my best. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's very important for us, especially this time, to talk about happiness and what it takes for one to be happy. We may take it for granted to think, it's just a matter of you deciding to be happy. I know many people believe you can just wake up one morning and make a decision to be happy. It takes a lot. Mm-hmm. It takes a lot. But the one thing that I can tell you right away, if you're going to ask me what it takes for one to be happy, what I can tell you right away is, when you are aligned to your purpose, when you are aligned completely to your purpose, when you run with your passion on a daily basis, you are in a better space. And you can be happy.
That's where happiness is found.
That's where I draw my happiness.
But then, not meaning to take you a little bit back, what exactly is happiness? Because I understand there is happiness and then there is joy.
Right.
That moment when I'm all in my joy space, is that my happiness, or there is a difference between joy and happiness?
I would say it's a state of mind. Happiness is a state of mind. It comes from up there that you are happy. As people, we are not only rational, but we are also emotional. Mm. And I realize, our emotions are at the center of everything that we do. Yeah. Mm. So you must have triggered, happiness, emotions for you to be in that space. So yeah, I would say it's a state of mind. And yes, you have to be conscious about it. And you have to be intentional about it to say, whatever I'm doing, am I triggering the right emotions. For me to be happy? Yeah.
One of the things that I always tell people is that as human beings, we are beings of energy. Yeah. Whatsoever energy you radiate is the energy that comes your way. But still on that note, one may ask, what if I go into a very, very moody, boring kind of place? A place that drains away the energy of happiness in me. How then do I come out of such a place and still be my happy self?
Interesting question, because I had a training this past weekend, and we were talking about energy management in the workplace. For me, I can only talk about myself. For me, I love to subdue my environment. I know what to do to make sure the environment is enabling. One of the things that I do, if I'm going to train, I have to be there before everybody else. I have to be there to actually, get my energy into the space.
Take form of the space.
Yes, and I have to really get there before everyone. And when everybody else comes, I've set the tone of this place. That's me. And, I feel so good when I'm in that space because I kind of have regulated, the emotions that are going to be, in the place. For example, Patricia, people may ask themselves a question, your workplace, what are some of the dominant emotions in the workplace? If you don't have people who are enthusiastic, energized by the work environment itself, that's when you'll then have people say, this place is draining me, this place has a lot of negative energy. Where is your energy?
Your energy.
Yes.
The first question you have to ask is where is
your energy?
Own energy?
Yes.
Yeah, because right now as you were talking, I was right there thinking of somebody that might be watching these and actually thinking, Bonolo, you don't understand what I've been through. I've been raped. I dealt with that. I've been in a car accident that literally slammed my face. I can't even recognize myself. I dealt with that. I've been through abuse, the marriage, everything. I'm still dealing with that. How then do you expect me to still go from day to day and maintain my happiness?
Yeah, I would say the same thing that I would say to someone who has never experienced such difficult things in their life, to say, look, at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to be who you want to be. We owe it to ourselves to birth what we want to birth. And you find that all of us, there's something that is burning within you. You know what you want to birth. It's your responsibility. One of the things that everybody wants is to be happy. And so you have to birth that happiness, you see. And that's through really dealing with whatever we have to deal with. I have my own story. And I dealt with things. I had to do that for myself. You keep on asking yourself, is that just it or not? And when you realize there is more to life than what you go through, and when you realize that everything that you go through kind of positions you for the next thing, for the next big thing, and when you realize leadership is not only external to say who are the leaders and everything, there is something that we call self-leadership. When you can take charge of your life and ask yourself, am I leading myself the right way? Am I taking full responsibility and accountability for who I am and who I want to be? Knowing that, you owe it to yourself to make sure you are the best version of yourself per time.
Awesome. Okay, I find this to be so profound. Birth your own happiness, which I think it goes all the way from just birthing, because after birthing, there is that season of conception, then there is that season of birthing, then there is that season of nurturing and keeping it nurtured all the way through. One thing that I feel like most people don't take to consideration. We're not going anywhere. We're just going for a short commercial break. We'll be right back to continue with this amazing conversation. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Tizzle, and I'll be your chef for this show, Let's Cook. Join me as I take you on a culinary journey as you learn new techniques, new methods, and new ways to cook all your favorite foods. You're gonna have a blast with this one. So please, join us on channel 291 Maru TV.
Have you heard about Maru TV Black Friday special? Maru TV will be selling ad space at 499 pula per ad play. What are you waiting for? Make your sales known, make your brand stand out. Hurry and get your ad space now. For more information, contact us on these numbers. T's and C's apply.
Unplugged Sessions.
This show will be happening every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. on Maru TV. Make sure that you watch, don't miss. It's a time of music. It's a time where we share ideas of music and enjoy ourselves. Unplugged Sessions with Tsapole Sole. You're welcome.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's Woman to Woman with me, Patricia Nkwani, and we're just having such an amazing conversation here with Bonolo Phalaagage. We're talking owning your happiness. Bonolo, right before the break, you said something that I found to be so profound that I can't get out of my head.
Yeah.
Birthing your happiness, to say you need to birth your happiness. And it took me right into your own story, because I understand at what point you took a journey that everybody will consider to be a very, very crazy journey, where you had to quit a job. And I don't mean just a job, but a permanent and pensionable job.
Yeah.
To pursue something that you believe would give you happiness.
Yeah.
That you believe right now is giving you the happiness that you need.
Right.
Can you take us through that whole journey?
Yeah, but I started off, as a secondary school teacher, agriculture, to be specific. I taught for 3 years. I always say, in our country, from your Form 5 going into your tertiary, you know how, the selection criteria is normally, cut-off points for the different institutions. That's what happens. You look at, your points to say, okay, then I can apply for 1, 2, 3. I never really knew what I wanted to do at that point, except that I knew I qualify for this program, so I went for it. So I did go and study secondary education in the University of Swaziland, and then I came back and I taught for 3 years. Those 3 years, I have to take a deep breath to talk about them. Different experiences, different lessons. But the one thing that was constant was the fact that within myself, I knew I'm set for a bigger platform, I'm set for bigger things. And I knew that was not, the end of, or maybe even the beginning of who I am going to be. So all the time, there was this instability. All the time, I want something else, from, that I'm sharing teacher's quarters to getting one, all for myself. I still am not happy about where I am. I remember in my last school, in the 3 years I taught in 3 different schools, but I stayed the longest in Orapa CJSS. And Orapa CJSS, I might have stayed longer there because when I went in, I was given a responsibility to coordinate educational tours. So they kind of were able to keep me busy because I was young, I was hungry for things, and I'm this person who wants to leave a mark wherever she is. So if you don't give me that space, then I can't function in that space. I still remember one time in a brainstorming session, I suggested my very first suggestion, which was actually my first and not last, was crushed. And that was nice, because then I got reminded that I can't function here. And I thought to myself, look, if I can't, change the one thing, just a simple thing like feeding arrangement, then I can't function here. Yes. So I've always known that, I have to move. But I was always a teacher, because even now I'm a corporate trainer. I like speaking to people. I like transforming, people's lives through information, through, interrupting thoughts and, patterns by people, just to get people to think about other things. So my career then couldn't allow me to do all this, to explore myself fully. So I decided, look, I'll quit and, start afresh. I'll see what else I do. And when I quit teaching, I went for a less paying job, but it was more challenging. It was giving me, the drama that I needed in my life to explore myself, which I then didn't really stay long. and moved to another job
Yeah.
in the petroleum industry, something I had never studied at all. But it was exciting because now when I did jargon, it's a thing, you know, it was so technical. I had to learn, and it was male dominated. So I just loved you know, getting in there. I remember, because it was a contractor to the oil companies, you know, where, you know, you fix things, pipes and tanks in mainly body filling station. So I remember there was an opportunity to accredit permit issuers and gas testers. That was for the guys who actually go to site. I was in the administration, but I was like, I'm going in. So I went in. I was the only woman out of, I think, about 60 men who came from the different companies. Yeah. And I was in there, and I became second best. There was one guy who, you know, got the highest, and I was second out of everybody else. And that was so fulfilling for me. So this thing, self-leadership, has always been, you know, my kind of, I felt like I'm responsible for really being whoever I want to be. Right now I'm doing the family show on Dream FM. When I went to now start radio, I had planned this 5 years back. I'm like, I want to go on radio. I want to go on radio. So I was totally responsible and accountable that I would make sure I'm in there. So yeah, it's been that journey. It's been me really shifting, turning, cutting things, starting, rethinking, all that, just in pursuit of the happy you.
The happy you.
Yeah.
The happy you.
Yes.
But the question that I always get is, people have a way of saying, as motivational speakers or as life coaches, we have a way of cushioning things and making them possible, whereas they're so impossible.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to ask you a simple question. Are you really happy?
I'm happy, ma'am. I'm so happy. I'm in the best space ever. One of the things about me now is I have clarity as to what I want, and I believe clarity is power. So right now, whatever form I take, if because I'm developing myself on a daily basis, I'm getting better every day. If I take a shape of a minister, I'll go for it. So I'm at that level where really whatever I want to do, I'll just go for it. I don't care if I fail. If I win, I win, we are happy. If I fail, I learn and I move on.
You move on.
Yeah, so
you
that's
are
where
at a state where you can coordinate your hairs.
Exactly.
To say, if I get this place, I can be this. If I get this place, and that's what keeps you fulfilled and happy.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Quite an amazing conversation we're having here. I'm liking this conversation. We're going to go for a short break. We'll be right back after the break to wrap up this amazing conversation. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Tizzle, and I'll be your chef for this show, Let's Cook. Join me as I take you on a culinary journey as you learn new techniques, new methods, and new ways to cook all your favorite foods. You're gonna have a blast with this one. So please, join us on channel 291 Maru TV.
Have you heard of our Mari TV Black Friday special? Mari TV will be selling ad space at 499 Pula per ad play. What are you waiting for? Make your sales known, make your brand stand out. Hurry and get your ad space now. For more information, contact us on these numbers. T's and C's apply.
Unplugged sessions. This show will be happening every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. on Maru TV. Make sure that you watch, don't miss. It's a time of music. It's a time where we share ideas of music and enjoy ourselves. Unplugged sessions with Tapolo Sole. You're welcome. Mm-hmm.
welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's Woman to Woman with me, Patricia Nkwane, and today we are talking owning your happiness. And as usual, I'm not alone. I'm joined by a beautiful woman, Bonolo, Phalaagage, to discuss owning your happiness. Bonolo, right before the break, we talked about so many issues and so many ways to birth your happiness. A conversation that I find to be very, very profound. But then the question that I'm having in my head is, you know, as women, as we go through this journey of life, we stumble, we fail, we meet challenges, you know, and a lot of these challenges have a way of redefining who we thought we were. But then still on that level, how are you able to now wake up and say, as for me, I'll maintain my happiness through it all?
Right. I like that because, you know, many people think you will only be happy when you've achieved everything that you want to achieve. It's not about that. Life is not like that. You see, I became happy when I realized that it's a journey. It's a journey. When I realized, oh, this is a journey. And I was like, okay, because it's a journey, I think the best thing I can do is I can just enjoy it. Enjoy the journey. Embrace whatever that comes with the journey. You know, when you're taking a journey, you may have been to Phalaagage before, but, you know, every time you go there, it's a different experience, kind of, you know. So because life is like that, so you never know sometimes how things are going to be. As much as you can be intentional about things, set goals and, you know, have, you know, your targets and everything, but, you know, you never know what comes. So one of the things that, you know, really sustains me is to embrace the journey, to appreciate everything that comes with it. One of the things that I tell myself on a daily basis is when I'm hit by anything, I want to locate the lessons, learn, and move on. Yes, that's what sustains me on a daily basis, because the challenges, definitely we're going to have them, and you're going to even have bigger challenges when you are someone who dreams even bigger, because, you know, that's how you've cast your net, you know, that far. So you attract many things, and, you know, it's really up to us. Like I said initially, that, you know, it's a state of mind. You decide on it, but based on these factors, and you make sure you are in a better space for you to be happy. It doesn't necessarily have to be after achieving certain things. One of the killers of happiness is, you know, shifting the goalpost.
Yeah.
You purpose it in your heart, you go all out, you want a plot. You acquire a plot, you start worrying about, you know, it's just the bush, I want to fence, we need to appreciate the stages, we need to appreciate the milestones, and we need to celebrate every milestone. Don't shift the goalposts. That will just kill your energy, kill your happiness.
You know, as you were talking about appreciating the journey, I'm reminded of a book that I read by Pablo, the Alchemist, where, you know, the young man he had a dream of picking certain treasures, only to go throughout the journey and then to be told the treasures are back where you came from. And all of a sudden, the lesson that you pick from that was the journey was for you to appreciate everything that happens on your way, in order for you to now go back and attaining what you had to go. This is so profound. It's very, very profound, because all of a sudden, I'm also reminded, I once took a journey to a village called Tikara. Tikara is what I believe is one of the poorest villages in the country, where some of the people don't have houses at all. They just sleep by a tree. But I realized when I got there, people right there are very, very happy. They're happy people. And then now it brings me to the thought of what you just said. Happiness is not about what you have at hand. Because a lot of people are thinking, until I have my mansion. They're happy because they got good cars.
And you lose out on the beauty of life. That's the beauty of life. Being in a space where you can say, 10 years back, this is who I was, and this is what was happening. You know, your experiences back. It's many people, when they talk about their stories, they marvel at, how things were turning,
The
because
turnaround
they,
of
yes,
events.
because they'd learned at some point that, it was a journey. It was a journey from the word go. And many times when you have arrived, you realize, why did I struggle so much with this thing? It was going to happen. I believe that we are predestined, and predestination means your destination is for sure.
for sure.
So you are indeed going somewhere, but it takes this for you to get there.
To get there.
Yeah, and one of the things that I love so much as a principle for my life is to make sure that I celebrate everything that I'm able to achieve, because I've realized that level 1 prepares me for level 2. Level 2 prepares me for level 3, and so forth. So if I miss out on anything at level 1, then I'm probably half cooked, half baked for level 2. And I might progress to level 2, but with cracks and and gaps. And when I'm there, I'm going to realize I need to
still carry
address this.
voids.
And you don't want that. You'd rather go through it and be thorough and get to your level 2, deal with it, go through it to another level thoroughly.
Awesome. Okay, Bonolo, as we are about to wrap this beautiful, beautiful show, I want just in a few words, your word of motivation to a woman that's right there and watching and thinking, I've been through a lot, but I need a break of happiness. Just sum up your word of motivation to this woman.
Woman, you are pretty. That's what I can say. Woman, you are pretty. We are in an era where, whatever we do as inner work for ourselves as women, we then create a new breed of women. You should see women today. Women are up and about doing what they want to do. They want to really be who they can be, and they are going all out to achieve that. So I'm just going to say, woman, you are pretty. You are beautiful inside and outside. Just step up, get out of that space, and find yourself.
Awesome. So there is another group of people, the girl child.
Yes.
Your word of inspiration to the girl child.
Right. You see, it's order that we have elderly people, we have children, and everybody else. And I'm going to say to the girl child, learn as much as possible from your elders. Never ever at any point think you know. Embrace what our parents, your elders have learned. They may not be as qualified as you are, but this life, for them to have lived a number of years more than you, they have learned something. I think these days I want to talk more of life skills. I think there are many people who are qualified but do not have life skills. That's a problem. So for the girl child, I'm going to say, work on your life skills. Work on your life skills. Qualifications, for sure, you will acquire them. Work on your life skills.
On your life skills.
Right.
Thank you so much, Bonolo Phalaagage, for joining us today. You really, really embraced our show, and we learned quite a lot from you. Now back to you, my woman. Happiness is a state of mind. Happiness is a decision. Happiness takes an individual that has made up their mind to say, I'm going for a pursuit of happiness. You pursue your happiness. You go through challenges, but you have to maintain the stability of pursuing your happiness. It's a decision that you have to make. So own your happiness. Stand up, embrace your happiness, and own your happiness. Thank you so much for watching Woman to Woman. See you again on the next episode of Woman to Woman. And once again, just to take a moment, I just want to thank and credit the people that have sponsored this show. This beautiful place that we are at has been sponsored by Ken Rose, and the outfits that we have right here, these beautiful dresses, that has been sponsored by Prestige Flair. See you next time on the next episode of Woman to Woman. Thank you.